read the Bible, you learn about many extraordinary men and women who fought against dangerous animals, raised the dead, healed diseases, cast out demons, and even parted the Red Sea. These people seem perfect and flawless, and they become our role models. However, we can find many lessons if we dig deeper and learn about their lives. The Bible doesn't hide anything and shows us both the good and bad things these heroes of faith did. As we look back at the lives of these great people, we often forget that they were ordinary people like us and had many flaws. Today we'll talk about the untold truth about King Solomon, who was dearly loved by everyone, but whose story has a sad ending. Let's start. The Bible is a complete and unbiased book that doesn't try to protect us from the imperfections of our heroes of faith. It's hard to think of a more beloved king than Solomon. He will always be remembered as a king who loved God so much that he offered 1,000 burnt offerings, asked for wisdom, and shone with such uncommon. Understanding that he brought peace and ended wars, as reported in 1 Kings chapter 3, verses 3 to 14. Many kings before and after him tried to do what was right, but few could hold a candle to his unmatched and unparalleled zeal. Yet despite this incredible beginning, Solomon's story has a sad ending that makes us wonder why things turned out the way they did. Why did someone who started off so well end up losing the greatest thing they had, their position as king? To understand what happened to Solomon, we need to look at his life, which was marked by ups and downs. See a man who, though deeply loved by God, sometimes strayed from what was right. This story tells us that even when we start off strong and with a lot of promise, we can't get careless. We have to stay committed and keep growing if we want to stay where we are, otherwise we might lose everything. But before we keep going, remember to click the subscribe button to inspire others and stay motivated. Also, be sure to hit the like button so you don't miss any updates. King Solomon, son of King David and Bathsheba, was born in Bethlehem around 970 BC. He became king of Israel when he was about 40 years old and ruled for 40 years. During his reign, Jerusalem was both the religious and political center of the nation. His mother was a woman from humble beginnings who later rose to become queen. His father, King David, was known for his victories in war and for taming a lion, bear, and a giant named Goliath. From his parents, he learned how to lead, fight, and pray. Even though he had two older brothers, Amnon and Absalom, both of whom were the result of his father. David's sins, the Lord promised David that he would pass over all the troubles that would happen to his older sons and give the kingdom to Solomon. When making this promise, he called Solomon Jedediah, which means beloved of the Lord. This was said in Samuel chapter 12, verses 24 to 25. Then the Lord sent a plague on them. So there fell down 70 and 4,405 of Israel. But God said to him, "It is time to stop the plague. I have sent enough punishment now." And David was very angry, because Gad came and told him that it was the Lord who had sent the plague on them. He said, "Have you not seen that there are many people around me? This is a heavy blow. Who knows how long I may live to suffer? It may be that I will die before you come back to me. Is this not like the behavior of the heathen in regard to the Lord?" But the Lord told David to go ahead with his plan to build a house for the Lord, telling him not to worry about the trouble that was coming, saying, "You will not build a house for me to live in, because you have shed much blood and made the land a curse. Thus says the Lord, while you were building a house for me to live in, you have made many sacrifices, burnt offerings, and sacrifices of peace offerings. Yet I desire to show my anger and power against you. You will not build a house for me to live in." David was a skilled warrior, but Solomon wasn't. He was intelligent, calm, and peaceful, preferring to use words to win battles rather than brute strength. Before Solomon took over, David got ready for war with the Ammonites. He told Solomon to finish getting ready so that in 3 days he could march out to meet the enemy. But Solomon wanted peace, not war. So when the time came, instead of sending out warriors, he sent out diplomats. By showing kindness, he convinced the Ammonite king to end the war and become friends instead of fighting. This was a big moment for the Israelites. It was the first time in their history that they didn't have to rely on a warrior, but could make friends with other groups through understanding. After putting out fires and making alliances with other countries, Solomon was able to focus on growing his own kingdom. During his reign, there was a lot of trade and business. Merchants, builders, and farmers all made money. People from faraway places would bring expensive things like gold, ivory, apes, and peacocks. They would give these items to Solomon in exchange for silver. One of the most famous stories about Solomon is how he solved a case where two women claimed to be the mother of the same baby. He listened to both sides of the story and eventually came up with a clever plan. His decision was praised as being very fair. Throughout the kingdom's history, there had never been a king as smart and peaceful as Solomon. He was known for his ability to solve problems and make deals. Many people came to him for help with their legal problems, and he always made sure to make the right call. When the Queen of Sheba heard about his fame, she decided to visit him in Jerusalem. She wanted to test him to see if what they said about him was true. When she met him, she talked to him about many topics, but he knew how to answer all of her questions. Impressed by his wisdom, she praised him and gave him valuable gifts such as gold, spices, and precious stones. She also admired the beauty and luxury of his palace, as well as the delicious food he served and the order and decorum of his court. During his reign, Solomon's wealth increased significantly, and he became one of the richest people in the world. He collected a huge amount of gold, estimated to be around 666 talents per year, which is equivalent to approximately 22 tons of gold. In addition to the revenue from merchants, traders, and all the Arab kings and governors of the territories, he also received tribute from the Queen of Sheba, which included precious stones and 120 talents of gold. Using some of this wealth, Solomon built his own palace and completed the construction of the Temple of the Lord, which had been started by his father, King David. Despite his many accomplishments, Solomon also had weaknesses, one of which was his love for women. He married many foreign princesses and worshipped false gods, which was a betrayal of the covenant his father David had made with God. As a result, God punished him by tearing the kingdom away from his son and giving 10 of the tribes to Jeroboam, one of his servants. However, he kept one tribe for Solomon's heir, so that David's family line would continue. In conclusion, Solomon's story teaches us that even those who start off with great potential and blessings can make mistakes and suffer setbacks. It reminds us to stay focused, keep our promises, and resist temptations. We can learn from his example and strive to maintain our integrity and commitment to our values, especially when faced with adversity. It's also important to remember that while Solomon was a man with both strengths and weaknesses, he remains a significant figure in history, and his legacy continues to inspire and influence people around the world. His life and work serve as a reminder of the importance of striving for wisdom, justice, and peace in our own lives. And now it's your turn. What did you think of Solomon's story? Have you read similar stories in your own life? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd appreciate your feedback and look forward to hearing from you. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.